Joining us now is Senator Lindsey Graham. If this is another Chernobyl, now the AP had reported that, in fact, radiation levels were up. Jennifer Griffin says, we believe that that's not true at this moment, but the fight, the battle continues, and the fire has not been extinguished, so that has to be a top concern of everybody.
Well, no, Chernobyl was an accident. This is an act of war. This is a war crime unfolding in front of us. So here's the state of play. If Joe Manchin's bill were put on the floor of the United States Senate, banning Russian oil coming into the United States, increasing American production to make up for the shortfall, it would get 75 votes. Here's the problem. The Biden administration is to the left of the German Green Party and to the left of Nancy Pelosi. That's our basic problem. You can talk about this until you fall over. Here's the problem. They didn't do this on Trump's watch, Russia, because Trump would have kicked their ass. What's happened is that Putin looks at Biden, he sized him up, he thinks he can get away with it, and he's going to keep going and going and going, and nobody in the West is going to stop him. How does this end? Somebody in Russia has to step up to the plate. Is there Brutus in Russia? Is there a more successful Colonel Stauffenberg in the Russian military? The only way this ends, my friend, is for somebody in Russia to take this guy out. You would be doing your country a great service and the world a great service.
You could always hope that somebody has a conscience and a soul, and I've been saying that. But I've also been saying no boots on the ground, meaning no American troops on the ground. Now, right. Donald Trump did. You agree with that? No boots on the ground from America, right?
I agree 100% with that. 100%.
Okay, then let me ask you this.
This is up to Russia to fix.
Donald Trump did provide the javelins. At the time, because of corruption within the government, I was somewhat skeptical. Turns out to have been the right decision. He was right, I was wrong. At the time, I had my suspicions. There's been a lot of corruption within that government, the quid pro quo with Joe, et cetera. Then, of course, Reagan provided the Stinger missiles to the Mujahideen in Afghanistan in the 80s, and that helped defeat the former Soviet Union at that time. Those are two things that I think the West needs to do now. But the most important thing the West needs to do immediately, including Joe Biden and America, is immediately stop importing any oil from Russia. And that means our European allies, they have to stop importing any energy from Russia as well. And that is the one thing that will take down the economy of Putin. Yeah, that's his Achilles heel. The Russian oil and gas sector is the fuel for the Russian war machine. But I'm here to tell you, Sean, you can take this to the bank. If there were a vote in the Senate tomorrow to cut off Russian imports to the United States and increase American production of oil and gas, it'd get 75 votes. The reason we're not doing that is Joe Biden is holding us back. The reason Putin invaded is he sees Biden as weak. The reason he didn't do this on Trump's watch is because he was afraid of him. And the only people that can fix this are the Russian people. Easy to say, hard to do, but I'm begging you in Russia, unless you want to live in darkness for the rest of your life, be isolated from the world, be in abject poverty, you need to step up to the plate and take this guy out. Well, strong words, the right strategy. And I guess some people might say, logically, the next question is, well, what if the next person is worse than Putin, which is always a possibility. I would argue
I'm willing to take that bet.
I'm glad to take that bet with you, because in the back of that person's mind is going to be what happened to the guy before him. And I think it would be powerful. Do you believe that there is a consensus enough now to return to the successful energy policies of Donald Trump? Energy independence, and when he left office, we were a net exporter of energy. Will we now, that would be good for national security. We wouldn't have to care about the Middle East, except our ally Israel. We wouldn't have to care about the Straits of Hormuz. We wouldn't get dragged into a conflict there. It would create high-paying career jobs in America. It would help the 40-year high of inflation, because it would we'd increase the supply worldwide, and that would decrease the price, and that would help every American that's suffering under Biden inflation. I see win-win-win across the board, and we could supply our allies in Europe as well.
I'm going to say it one more time. If there were a vote in the United States Senate next week
to return to Trump energy policy, to ban Russian oil and gas coming into America, to expand American oil and gas production to make up for the shortfall, and to help our allies in Europe, it would get 75 votes.
Well, why doesn't Mitch McConnell move that bill immediately? Why does it? Mitch McConnell
because he's not in charge.
Okay, how about Mitch McConnell?
He's not in charge.
Mitch McConnell and Joe Manchin and the 75 people, you know, sign a letter, hand it to Chucky and say, put this bill on the floor.
You're way ahead of me. I was going to say this next week. So there's going to be an effort to Rule 14 this bill, which means to bring it directly to the floor and see if Schumer will stop it. If Nancy Pelosi is saying we need to stop buying Russian oil and gas, then that's a sea change. Biden is to the left of the Green Party in Germany, who's allowing terminals to be built to receive gas outside of Russia. Pelosi is willing to shut off oil and gas imports into the United States from Russia. The only people stopping this is President Biden. His people are under the thumb of the most radical folks on the planet, not just in America, but on the friggin' planet.
Yeah. Senator Graham, thank you. We appreciate you being with us.